What is up? What is up? What is up? Can you guys hear me okay? This microphone is super high. But of course, we're all super high because we're in the hella shed. So it is what it is. Yeah, baby. There we go. How's it going, everybody? I hope you're doing fantastic. Welcome to the hella shed. We're going to have an epic live stream tonight, I hope. We'll see what happens. But of course, we've got to go over and see what Monica's up to. And, kick this thing off right. So let's do it. Hey.
Hey.
There you are. Hold on. Wait, that wasn't right. I can't do that.
I was going to say, where's Monica's intro?
Yeah, we got to go back here.
Yep.
You know, because it wouldn't... Yes, it wasn't good. That was bad. That was bad. That was bad on my part. So let's do it.
It's Wednesday night, just after 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the only legitimate time zone. Hailing from an ultra-secret location in a room just below Michael, from a state that Michael swears is freezing 365 days a year. She's in charge of reading all your questions live, as long as you use the form. She's the real reason this channel hit 200,000 subs, yet she still can't get a word in edgewise. Here's Monica.
Oh, so there we go. We can get it right.
There we
the
go.
Illustrious, beautiful Monica's in the house. How are you? I really like the shirt you're wearing. You'll have to stand up and show the folks.
Do you want it now? Do you want me to do it now?
Oh, you can do it whenever you want, honey.
Later?
Oh, sorry.
Well, I'm not going to do it now.
Oh, okay. Well, whenever you want. What's up? Jelly's in the house. Just Not Good's in the house. Pima Air in Space. The Logician and Chance and Axolotl Decoy. Dan Gleeball's in the house. Man, JCTV Archive Games Reacts. That's a long title. Moose Gaming, hello. Tyler's Variety. Bling Auntie, nice. Well, that's you guys. I'm so excited to have everybody in the house. Monica, of course, kind of got in the way of last week's stream, so you should just apologize now.
Apologize now. It was actually my fault last week. Work came up unexpectedly at the very end of the day, just as I was ready to sign off, and I couldn't do anything about it. I had to keep working, so I apologize, guys. I couldn't be here, and I don't. Michael couldn't be here either. Michael, Tech Examined, couldn't be here either to ask the questions, so apologies for that. But we'll jump back in it today and get all your questions answered for sure.
JC Laredo says, For the Love of Cars is on fire with releases. Well, thank you, JC Laredo. We might even speed that up a little bit. I might start introducing new content Mondays and Fridays to try to get caught up. Because believe it or not, I'm pretty far ahead into the future of what's actually going on the BMW. And I'd much rather be able to talk about what's actually happening with it than, the way it is right now. So it is what it is. Forget the chit chat. Bring on the popcorn, Pima says. Well, thank you, Pima. Now we're going to see if my thing is working. So far, not so good. Didn't flip me over. It didn't flip me off yet. I don't know why. Oh.
Are you going to do it manually then?
Well, I might. We're just going to wait and see. But what we should do is go ahead and do the needful, because everybody knows that here on the live stream, man, what is going on? It's a good question. I don't know why it is not flipping me over. There is no reason why it wouldn't be. But
I'm also hearing a slight buzz. I thought that was me, but someone else mentioned it in the chat as well.
Yeah?
Yeah, not sure.
What about now?
Oh,
Still getting it?
Definitely you.
Yeah? You're getting
No,
the buzz
it's
still?
Still getting the buzz, but you could hear it moving around as you move that mic.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's the cable, baby.
Yep, I think I. Let's see. Do we have anything?
Yeah.
Are we
it's-
good?
still
There we
happening.
go. Hey. There we go. So we've got Pima Air and Space. Thank you so much. And I'm pretty sure I actually know where the noise is coming from. So let's scramble up here real quick and see if we can't fix our problem. I had to do some work, some desk cleaning this week, and it may have messed things up a little bit, but there we go. Is that any better? Can you guys hear me better? Pima says, Monica for president. Okay, well, you know. No, yeah. I mean, she'd at least be awake for most of it. She does enjoy her ice cream now, I'm not gonna lie. Every once in a while. Yeah. Yeah. Nobody can actually hear anything. It sounds like I'm talking to myself. So that's great. Benji, how you doing, my friend? All right, well, thank you so much, Pima, Air and Space. Let's go back over here and go ahead and get this party started. So everybody should have their virtual popcorn in hand so that Monica and I can go ahead and just, embiggen that popcorn.
That's right. Make it big.
Make it big. Or at least bigger than it was when we virtually shot it over there. So, I mean, that's the way that, excuse me, holy mackerel. That's the way we make this stream epic. Not by burping, but by embiggening your virtual popcorn. Oh my. Chance became a member and it flipped me to the wrong scene. That's not cool. Why would it do that? Oh. Wow, well, thank you so much, Pima Air and Space gifted a membership to our good friend, Chance. And we should go over
into it right. Good music, because that's how this rolls. Well, thank you so much, Pima Air and Space. Chance. Welcome to the membership. I appreciate it. It's very awesome. Yes. And anyone else, if you'd like to become a member of the channel and help us out, there's links down below. You just join us. Join us. And Pima Air and Space gifted a membership as well to Big Squad Trevor. Thank you, Pima. Give me your best, man. Thank you.
All right. Wow. Look at that. That was epic again.
That was epic.
So I guess
So
what we have to do is open up the form so people can ask their questions. People are
Yes.
probably getting antsy and they're like, well, when am I supposed to answer my questions? Well, let's open that.
Open it up.
Open it up.
Open.
Yep. Pima, that is very, very kind of you. Thank you so much. And the question form, you'll find it right down there.
And there we go. It just put me back over here. Because it's fine. So now when I go back over, it's gonna play it again.
There we go. So it's playing the question form again, but as you know, oh no, it's gonna
Closed.
just flip me over again. It's obviously just doing a thing. So we're gonna let it. Oh, Tech Examine just gifted a membership.
To Axolotl Team Tour. Well, thank you. I do appreciate it. Tech Examine. Doing work. Well, thank you, Max Level Decoy. Welcome to the membership. That button is down there, so anybody can become a supporter. I do appreciate it. Oh, this was a lot better when it had the moody lighting and everything. But Extreme Effects is broken. It doesn't work anymore. So, there you go.
Hey, and we're opening the form again.
All right.
We'll just, yeah, we could stop that.
We got 4 questions.
Hey, Dusty Bricks in the house. Hello, Eddie. Or is it Edie? It's hard to say.
Edie.
Can I please get one? Hey, yeah, there absolutely you can. There is a link right below. It says membership. And anyone can use that link. There are 3 different levels of membership, only 2 of which are actually working at the moment. The second one gives you access to our Discord server.
And there we go. Max Level Decoy. That's for you, your membership as well. Well, thank you, Max Level Decoy. Man, are we going to get any questions tonight? Oh my goodness. Well, it just flipped me back.
Back there for fun. I don't know why it did that. Oh, this is awesome. Well, I guess we got 4 questions already, right, honey?
We have 4 questions already. Yes, we do.
All right. Well, then we should try to get to them. I think that would be fun.
We should start to get to them. Yes. Let's do it.
All right. Cool.
Okay. All right. Our first question comes from Dan Gleeball's Scam Baiter.
Well, hello, Dan. Dusty Bricks says that there are a lot of broken thumbs, and there are. There's literally about half of the current viewers with broken thumbs.
And here we go again. Got another gifted sub, or it's just flipping us over here for fun. I can't figure out why.
All right. So go ahead, honey. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay. Dan says, hi, I hope all is well. With following your channel religiously, I finally have started live streaming on YouTube. It's been good
Nice.
so far, so a huge thank you for what you do.
Well, I
Okay.
appreciate that. Thank you.
And he has some questions. He says, I use Prism Live Studio, and 2 questions here. Is there a way to add multiple videos as a slideshow?
Sure. You know, basically the best way to do it, and let me open up Prism so I can kind of show you. And, you know, I don't know if you're the purpose or the reason why you are running. I'm not sure the reason why you're actually running multiple videos. So that's another thing that should probably be explored first. But depending upon what you are running the videos for, are you going to be on these videos in the corner somewhere? Are you going to be talking behind them? How exactly do you plan to be using the video content that you're doing? So the easiest way to do something like that, and I'm going to flip over here to my tutorial screen, and the easiest way to do something like that is just to separate the scenes out. So scene 1 might be, you know, just where my regular video camera would be. And all right, so we've got video of me right here. Now, are you going to be on a green screen? Going to be as a background behind you. So, all right, so I see what you're saying. You're going to use a virtual green screen or something like that. So let's remove this, and then we'll go and we'll use the Prism camera, and we'll add in our camera to that, and we'll go to a virtual background setting, and we'll just remove our background. And then what we can do is we could just add in videos in the background. So let's see. Image source, video and music, And we'll just add this here. And let's scroll down and get a video. We'll use some from here. How about that one? No, let's use the WebM video. Well, that'll work for our purposes. And we can loop it, and there we go. It doesn't have any audio anyways. We just put it behind us, and there we go. So now we have that. So if we wanted to have another scene with one behind us, what you do is just go ahead and so that doesn't have a duplicate. We can copy and boom, and there we go. We can name it whatever we want. Needless to say, I'm just doing this for the purposes of showing you how you would do it. And then what we would do here is go into properties, and we just select a different video. And there we go. So depending upon what you're using, it looks like, oh, see, I see what it did there. I see what it did there. So the copy works differently than you would think that it should. So it created two. So they're both exactly the same. So you can't really do that. We've got to delete that. Go ahead and just create another scene. And then we'll add our camera. Oh, no. We'll add our prism camera. And add existing. There we go. And then we just need to go and add a video. And then, you know, basically that's, you just create a bunch of different scenes with the different videos that you want to have behind you. And that's pretty much how you have to do this. So now we've got a scene 1 and a scene 2, and we have a different background behind us for each one. You can actually set it up so that you have a transition in between or not. It's up to you. But yeah, that's how you do it with multiple videos set up behind you. You can even set it up so there's hotkeys to switch from one scene to another, so you don't have to do anything in here. All you have to do is click a button and it will switch to the other background. There is ways to do like a rotating background type thing, like what I do on the Hellashed. It is possible, but it would require OBS, which has, you know, something like the automatic source switcher and stuff like that. So right now, Prism doesn't have anything like that, but I'm sure that we will get something like that eventually. Hopefully that helps, Dan. Let's get another question. Hey, baby.
Okay. Okay.
All
So
right.
the second question from Dan is there a way when streaming on YouTube to create a custom pop-up on screen should someone donate? I have an Elgato Stream Deck, if that helps.
Create a custom pop-up.
Yes.
Yeah, I have a couple of different videos on this. Those are called alerts. My stream will switch us over to another scene, but I also have alerts on my main scene. Let's go over to the main scene here, and I will show you what I'm talking about. If we go over to my main scene and I just kick off a subscriber event, we have some of what you're referring to right here. So I can kick this off, and there you go. You see the little thingy and the smoke, and then boom, the name comes up and changes up here. We get the name right here. Those are all animations that I created that we loaded in. I don't happen to use anything like that specifically for the alerts, because I like to switch over to the other scene and that sort of stuff. But I have a bunch of different videos on how to do alerts. The Logician dropped a link down there for one of them. You can check that out. Just keep in mind, a lot of people say that the alerts don't come up and all that stuff. When you go to add an alert in your browser source, if you don't use whatever size you used for stream elements, in most cases it's going to be 1920 by 1080. If you don't put that into your browser source, a lot of times it won't show up. So there you go. Let's get another question. Hey, baby.
Hey. Okay. All right. Next question comes from Real Food.
Uh-oh.
Sandy became a member. Review, super supportable. Thank you so much, Sandy. I appreciate that. Woohoo! Yes. Oh, goodness. You guys are amazing. Let's get another question. Alright, there we go. I think we fixed it.
No, we still have. There we go. Now
There
we're
you
good.
That's better.
All right. What's the next question?
Okay. Okay. So Real Food has a question. They say, I've been doing a live stream on one subject for some time, but want to create a whole new live stream on something completely different. How is that done? Do I just create new scenes in my current program?
Okay. So the best way to do it, let me show you. We're going to go over to my tutorial screen and we'll open up OBS over here. All right. So I have OBS open and this is the scenes that I use for the live stream just to kind of show you guys how everything works. However, I use my live stream here as well. So if I just go to my profile, your profile are all of the settings for the different streams that you have or do. So my live stream, I would put live stream in the profile, and then in the scene collection, this is the collection of all the scenes for the different live streams. So I can go to my live stream scene collection, and bada bing, you could see all of the scenes and everything that I have for my live stream. So that means you can have as many live streams as you want set up and ready to go. This one was one that I did on Twitch not too long ago. So you can have as many as you want. Now, how you create these? Well, you're going to go ahead and create a new profile and just name it whatever you want. And a new scene collection and just name it whatever you want. And then you can create your entire new live stream. So that's how you would do it. Let's go here and let's go here, and there we go. So that's how you can easily set it up so that you can go and live stream, have multiple different live streaming setups and that sort of stuff. Pretty simple stuff. Let's get another question. Hey. All right, let's go.
All right. Okay. Tyler's Variety has the next question.
Hey,
So-
21090 is in the house. What's up? Good to see you
21090?
back, my friend. Yeah.
Yes, that's a blast from the past.
Yes, it is. I hope you guys are doing well. Very long time. All right. Sorry, honey. Go ahead.
That's okay. That's okay. Okay, Tyler's Variety has a two-part question. Do you think live streaming Steam games would be better on Prism or OBS?
Well, that is all a product of what the capabilities of your particular computer are, and what type of games you're trying to stream. Prism does use a little bit more background CPU and all those sorts of things. So if you're doing a very, very busy game that is very CPU or GPU intensive, then using something like OBS might be the better choice unless you have a really good computer. But if you have an awesome computer, it shouldn't matter whether you're using OBS or Prism. You should be able to pretty much do whatever you want. On this computer right here, I could pretty much stream on Prism or on OBS, whatever I want, and I wouldn't have to worry too much about it. So it really does depend on how powerful your computer is and the type of stuff that you're trying to stream. So just keep that in mind. If you have a weaker computer, you're probably going to be better off going with OBS. If you have a really strong computer and you like the features in Prism, which make life so easy, then I would definitely use Prism. It's kind of all a matter of what you like. And by the way, Prism is working constantly to update and make the system work better and perform faster. So it's just a matter of time before they fix the little problems that they're having, and is just as fast as OBS. So All right, let's get another question.
Okay. Okay, Tyler's second question is, are you familiar with the website Pixel Chat TV? If you are, how compatible do you think it would be with Prism or OBS for using the chat and shout out overlays?
Interesting. I am not familiar at all with it, so I don't know anything about it and cannot comment or do not have any opinions on it, unfortunately. Sorry.
Okay. Okay, so ready for the next one then?
I'm ready.
Okay. All right, so the next question is from Strauss Daddy.
Hello, Strauss Daddy.
Is there a way to single record each individual input device on Prism Live, not mobile? It would make editing of video easier when shooting everything together at once for a video.
Yes. As far as I am aware, at the moment, there is no way to individually record sources in Prism Live Studio. There is a plugin in OBS that will allow you to individually record, I believe, up to 3 different sources. So they're all in their proper resolution and everything, and then you can just mix them up any way you want in post later on. But as far as I am aware, Prism does not have a feature at the moment that allows you to record individual sources. So sorry about that. Let's get another one, beautiful.
Okay.
Now we do have a lot of new folks in the stream. Hello, thank you, welcome. Don't forget to hit those thumbs up. We can't have all these broken thumbs. It's just tragic. In fact, if you don't like the stream, it's all good. We love you guys too. Just hit that thumbs down twice. Really show us who's boss. We love you guys though. So let's. What we do here is we answer every single question that comes in, every single one. But you can't put it in the chat. You got to put it in the form. My mods do put the links to the form down there so that you can ask your questions. And we definitely make sure that we get to every single one of them. That's why we do it. So what's the next one, beautiful?
All right. The next one comes from V301 Mechatronics. They're from Europe. And he says, do you
hello.
know if the 360-degree camera rotation in YouTube also works in live? One such product that is no longer on sale in the US is the Orbi Prime 360 camera. I wanted to build this in a baseball cap using 2 180-degree cameras.
I'm pretty sure that you can use 360 cameras if you're just using the stream to YouTube directly. But I'm not aware of any way to do that. I mean, there's ways to do it in OBS as well. But as far as I know, the streaming directly to YouTube with just their thing, it gives you the ability to select the camera, and if it's a 3D camera, I do think you can modify and mess around with those sort of things. But I don't have a 3D camera, so I don't have the ability to actually tell you for sure that that works. I also don't live stream directly through the YouTube app. I do it directly through OBS, so I would be loading apps into OBS that would allow me to do that, which I'm absolutely certain there are plenty that allow you to do it. But like Chance says, and I totally agree, I'm pretty sure if you stream directly through the YouTube studio and connect your 3D camera, it will allow you to do that and use the 3D camera. So there you go. Let's get another one.
There you go. Okay, we have, the next question is from Pima. Pima Air and Space.
Hello, Pima.
Hey, Pima. He says, Michael, I'm in the market for a handheld gimbal that is inexpensive and has a dual purpose for smartphones as well as cameras. Any recommendations?
Well, generally speaking, if you want one for smartphones, they're for smartphones. And if you want one for cameras, they're for cameras. I had one. I don't know if I still have it here. I do. So I have this one right here. It looks like a little tiny guitar case. This is the Zhiyun Smooth Q. And I used this when I was doing my old vlogging thing. And you can see we got it's well used. It is a well used gimbal, but it's quite good. And this is for cell phones, because the first 2 years that I did YouTube, Everything I did was on my cell phone. So if you're looking for a gimbal for your cell phone that you want to know that it works and is reliable and it'll take a beating, the Zhiyun Smooth Cube will definitely do that. And I can get a link for you, maybe, and put it in the description in just a second, if you would like to check that out. And I'm sure this is 3 or 4 years old now. It still works. I'm relatively certain that there are updates to that particular gimbal. I am almost positive. Let's see here. Yeah. Let's see. And it's not expensive. It's $100 gimbal. Seriously. It's less than $100. Let me give you the link just in case you want to give it a shot and check it out for yourself. Or anyone. You want to give it a shot. Now, as far as camera gimbals go, I've never owned one. They're always so expensive. Yeah, hold on. Let me show you guys here, just so you can see that I'm not in full BS mode. So right here is the Zhiyun Smooth Cube 3-axis gimbal, $97. 97 bucks, and it's in stock, so you could have it basically early next week. And it is not Prime, which is weird, but either way, I really liked it. I used it. I beat it to death. So it's good stuff. And it actually does have a thing where you can set it up with your phone and program it so it will follow you around, which is cool. You can put it on a tripod and the camera will follow you. So it's a very, very, very cool gimbal for sure. For sure. So hopefully, I don't know. Hopefully that does it for you. If you're looking for information on camera gimbals, I could tell you that Tech Examine has a lot of experience with camera gimbals. He's always got 1 or 2 of them that he owns. So when I need a camera gimbal, I just give Tech Examine a call and say, hey, we need a camera gimbal. The one thing that I would really like to have would be a slider. That I think camera slider would be fantastic. But at the moment, is this an auction now? No, it's not an auction, Dusty. All right. Well, let's get another question.
Okay.
But if he has on camera gimbals, you have to ask Tech Examined. He's much more, and I'll bet you the Logician has some information about those sorts of things as well. All right, what you got, babe?
Okay. GC Laredo wants to know, other than the BMW car channel and this channel, content creating, what are some of your other hobbies?
Oh, goodness. Well, I do enjoy video gaming. Monica and I have been playing through together Hogwarts, and that's fun. Man, I would say that we are definitely, or were at one time, massive Disney fans. So we would take trips to Disney twice a year, usually. It hasn't happened since before COVID. So I'm a little bit disappointed in the way that Disney does business these days, and we're probably not going to be going anytime soon. But we're also big Star Wars buffs, or at least we used to be back when that was a good thing as well. But other than that, I love pretty much when I'm not working on the BMW or filming content, I am watching Street Outlaws. Absolutely love it. Anything Street Outlaws, that includes No Prep Kings and America's Fastest, and I love Street Outlaws. I watch, let's see, we watch BattleBots Thursday nights. Absolutely love our BattleBots. And Monica goes to visit her mom on Thursdays, and I always tell her before she goes, you got to get back soon, because tonight is robot fighting time.
Yep.
So those are the two things. The other things we other than that, the car and those TV shows, and pretty much that's it.
Ling Auntie, thank you so much for becoming a member. And that membership was gifted. I believe, no? Ling Auntie. Oh yes, by Pima Air in Space. Well, thank you, Pima Air in Space. Wow. That is awesome. Very, very cool. Pima is very nice, BRS. Very nice. Incredibly nice. Let's get another question.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Are you ready then? Okay, because I think now, since you mentioned Disney and going on trips and stuff, is a good time to show my shirt.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yes, yes. I'll see if I could get this on camera here because I can't see anything.
That's awesome.
right.
Those were the droids we were looking for. Ah, I love that.
Yes, yes.
Pima Air in Space gifted membership to Dusty Bricks. Awesome. Congrats, Dusty Bricks, and thank you very, very much. Pima Air in Space. You are the best, my friend.
All right. Yeah, that shirt is absolutely fantastic because, the thing is I'm pretty sure Darth Vader didn't make them right on the board. He probably just hacked them into two. But, we could always figure that maybe they appealed to a softer side.
Perhaps. I just thought it was quite comical, so yeah. Okay, are you ready for the next question?
Absolutely.
Okay, we are on a question from Storm Chaser Tyler Kurtz.
Well, hello.
He says, are you familiar with SRT protocol? If so, do you know why in Larrick's broadcaster it keeps saying it can't connect to the server?
I am not familiar with SRT protocol. I don't know whether it's audio or video, which means you definitely have me at a loss on that particular thing. Unfortunately, it's possible that we have some really brilliant people in the audience, like the Logician and Tech Examined, who may know more about the protocol and can kind of walk you through whatever problem you have. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if the Logician has actually worked with that board or something like that. So there you go. Hopefully you can ask your question in there and one of those folks might be able to help you out. So it sounds like SRT might be similar to NDI or RTMP or something like that. Okay. These are not the protocols you're looking for. All right. Well, there you go. All right, Logician. What you got next, honey?
Okay. Next question is from Kenyon H. He says, I'd like to live stream small events. Many say that hardware switcher and encoders like ATM Mini Pro is best and more reliable. I have a laptop and 2 capture cards with mirrorless cameras, an OBS and DroidCam OBS for my cell phone. Would you advise me to just get a Stream Deck or should I look into a hardware switcher?
Well, if you already have something like an ATEM Mini, it's a fantastic tool. It is absolutely incredible. A lot of people swear by them. The other one is this one here. This is the YOLO Box Pro, and it's obviously, I must have touched the button, and it's starting up. But this has all kinds of inputs on the top so that you can plug all your cameras in. You can control your entire stream from here, and you can even put Ethernet to stream right from here, or you can use your cell phone card in here to stream from here. So this is absolutely this is just a fantastic tool. I did a review on this. If somebody wants to put a link in the chat so that they can check it out, I really do think that this is one of the coolest tools ever, especially if you're going to be streaming live events or something like that. It's game changing. It's game changing because you can actually see everything right on the screen, control it. You can even have guests. It really, really is cool. You can use 3 or 4 cameras and a cell phone and connect them all. It's really, really awesome stuff. So if you want to check out the Yellow Box, now, just like the ATEM Mini, it is not cheap. The Yellow Box Pro, I believe, is about $1,000. So it is not cheap, but it is awesome stuff. Guitar Stuff, thank you so much. Guitar Stuff says, pennies from heaven.
I gotta go back here and get Guitar Stuff heard. Don't say who I am or was. Oops. Sorry. That was a little late there. Pima Air in Space gifted 5 different members. So thank you, Pima Air in Space. We got Edie, Henry Gaming, Viper Warrior 80 Xbox, and Apex Lone Star. I'm guessing there'll be another one that pops up here as well. Man, Pima, thank you so much. Really, really amazing. Look at all those Stream Elements stuff popping up here. Just unbelievable. I have the best audience on the planet. I really do. Let's see. Man. So I'm wondering if we're through all of them yet. I don't think we are. Yeah, there we go. Gotta let it run its course, otherwise it's just gonna flip me back. You know, if you would like to become a member, there is a link down below. And looks like it says membership. There's a couple different types of memberships there. You need to go to the ATEM Mini Pro ISO or Extreme ISO to get all the additional features. I wasn't aware of how many different ones there are for that, but I think that might be it. Nope, there's another one. Thank you, Pima.
Wow. Lots of memberships tonight. This is absolutely amazing. Amazing. Strauss Daddy wants to know what we're rocking. It is something that is on Epidemic Sounds that I found at some point. So there you go. It's Epidemic Sounds. Let's get another question, beautiful.
All right, let's get another question. Okay, next question is from Killinois Kennels. And they say, do you know the best way to add a phone call onto your live stream to get good quality with the audio?
Well, so I've talked about strategies for bringing on live callers in the past, and probably the best strategy is to set up a Discord and have some folks that you trust actually be able to separate people out to toss them into a room of Google or of Discord where they would be on with you live. But you got to have call screeners, just like radio shows and everything else. We'll screen the call and then toss them into the proper group so that you can bring them on to your live broadcast. That person would also ideally be in your headset so that you can talk to them and they can know what's going on and you can know what's going on and all that sort of stuff. So in my opinion, probably the best strategy for it would be something like Discord, or there's a couple other voice style things out there that are used for gaming. So I don't remember the name of those things right off the top of my head, but there are a bunch of different ones like TeamSpeak and stuff like that are great ways that you can give people a link to join your TeamSpeak. You have a moderator in TeamSpeak who will talk to each person, and then when it's time for them to be on the stream, we'll toss them in the proper room, which will put their audio through to your live stream. So that would be probably the best of the options out there that's totally free. So let's get another question. If I can get, there we go. Here we go. All right.
Okay. Killinois has a second question. They say, do you ever do tutorials with Adobe products to do transitions and stuff? I have the suite and wonder if I'm wasting my money.
I have in the past done tutorials on how to create transitions and that sort of stuff using Adobe products. However, 9 times out of 10, the people that watch my channel want they want to be able to do everything for free. So most of the tutorials that I've done most recently are all going to be in DaVinci Resolve. But I'm pretty sure that I have some out there that are not DaVinci Resolve. So let me see if I can figure out which ones those would be. Let's see here. Stinger. And let's see. Usually, so the custom Stinger one I used After Effects for. And that might be one of the only ones left that I used an Adobe product on. But it does exist. So let's see. Let's get a shareable link on that one. And I'll put it in there. I used Adobe After Effects on this particular one. But there you go. That's the one that I know of for sure. That's Adobe. But a couple of the older ones might still be Adobe as well. I'm not sure at what point I started using DaVinci Resolve. But yeah, I've done both. It's just a matter of trying to make sure that the audience can actually perform and do that stuff, since the Adobe products are so ridiculously expensive. I figure that most people probably have access to DaVinci, which is why I do that. Let's get another question.
Okay. Okay. This question is from Sandio Masibi. He says, is there a scrolling teleprompter solution for OBS? And can I use PowerPoint as an input instead of the limited build in slideshow that does work as good with animations?
Well, as far as a scrolling teleprompter, it depends. It depends what you're trying to do. A teleprompter solution is not super difficult. I use something called the Parrot. Let me see if I can find it so I can show you what I'm talking about. I forget what it's called. I know it's the Parrot teleprompter. The Padcaster. Here it is. So let's go over here. Okay, so basically the Padcaster uses an app on your cell phone and then puts it on the screen. Then you use this little remote to make it continue to go. So if you had a theme that you would like to follow on your live stream, you can click to play. It will play on your Padcaster. If you want to pause it, talk to your audience a little bit, you just click a button. It will stop. You could talk to your audience. Then you click the button again. It will start scrolling and you can go back to your script. I use this for every one of my videos. I write the scripts. I certainly think you could do a lot worse for a live stream than a teleprompter like this, especially if you're just starting out and you want to make sure that you stay on point. It's a pretty good way to do it, obviously, and it doesn't use a lot of energy. Your phone's probably not going to die over the period of time that you're live streaming. So this Padcaster is probably the best solution. that you could use, and you can see they have a way that you can mount it to, whatever. I use it on a camera like this. I'm not certain that you could use it on like a cell phone. They might have a version for that. But you can also see it's $100. It's not super mega cheap, but it's not outrageously expensive either. I think it's one of the, probably some of the best $100 I ever spent for my channel, because I use it every single video, whether it's a car video or a video for this channel. So there you go. There's a link for you if you want to check it out for yourself. I may or may not have done a video on this somewhere. I think it's quite possible that I did a video on it. If you want to learn a little more about how it works, you could check that out. I'm pretty sure I did a video on it at some point. Let's go ahead and get another question.
Okay, did you answer the second part of that question?
What was
Can
the
I
second
use
part?
PowerPoint as an input instead of the limited build in slideshow? That does work as good with animations.
Probably. I mean, it really depends what you're trying to use it for. There's a difference between having scrolling text on the bottom of your screen and having a teleprompter. What I just showed you is a teleprompter. There are plenty of applications out there that can help you put scrolling text on the bottom of your screen. In fact, there's something built right into OBS and Prism Live Studio that allows you to change it directly in a text file or something like that. So you could just copy and paste stuff from one file into that text file and change it up on the fly or however you want. You might even be able to get someone remotely to edit it so it shows up on your screen. In fact, I think I did a video on how you would do that as well at one point. So it sounds like that's what you're looking for. You're not looking for a teleprompter that you can read your stuff off of. You're looking for a scroll bar. And something like that, I did a video on a scroll bar like that. It also, you can bring up scripture and that sort of stuff if you are doing a church stream. I say that because Michael will know what video I'm talking about if I say that. That video has a text scroll bar that you can have modified by a producer or anybody. So there you go. Tech Examine just posted a link to that video. That can help you out. You can actually change lower thirds on the fly. You can have a scroll bar at the bottom. You can have somebody else change that stuff. And of course, like I said, you could do scripture and that sort of stuff, or song lyrics or anything right on the screen, and it does it very well. So that would be another option if you are not looking specifically for a teleprompter. Let's get another question, Pumpkin.
Okay, Edie has a question, and she wants to know, how do you get a virtual
Hold on,
green...
Bobby's expressing an opinion. Bobby Zines says live streams should be live and impromptu. If you're scripted, you may as well do a pre-recorded video. Bobby, I don't necessarily disagree with that on some levels. But I would say this. If you're new to live streaming and you want to make sure that you stay on point, writing a little bit of script with talking points isn't gonna rip up the farm. And especially when you're new to live streaming, it's really, really smart to plan out your live streams so that you're just not sitting there with dead air waiting for people to show up. The more, of course, it obviously depends on what style or what sort of live stream you're doing. You don't need to script anything if you're just going to be playing a game live. However, if you were going to do a live stream that you were going to talk about camping gear or just camping in general or something like that, you may want to at least have the framework of what you want to talk about, because you should be entertaining your audience all the time, even when you don't have an audience. Because by the time you realize that someone's in there, because you see the little number 1, they're already gone before you start talking to them. So you've just got to be engaging with your audience immediately and constantly. And if a script helps you do that, there's nothing wrong with that. I do believe that it takes time to get to the point where you can just have a conversation with your audience without having to worry about a lot of dead air. It's just a skill that you develop over time as you live stream. All right, babe, what you got?
Okay, my question here from Edie is, how do you get a virtual green screen on Streamlabs?
Streamlabs may have something like that. I don't know. It has been a very, very long time since I've checked out Streamlabs. One of the easiest ways to get the virtual green screen on there, my my opinion would have been to use Snap Camera, because Snap Camera can basically remove the background or add a green background to your image, and then you can just chrome out the background. However, it's safe to say that that Snap Camera thing is difficult for some people to figure out at this point. You could still use it, and it does still work, but a lot of people don't necessarily want to do the work that it takes to make it work. So Chance just put a link in the description or in the chat to check out that video if you would like, and maybe get Snap Camera installed on your system. And that has a green screen face, which will you could just basically get a you get a green image, you put it up behind you, and then you just chroma it out, and that will work in anything, whether it's OBS or Prism or Streamlabs.
Oh boy. SSX Santos. Welcome to the membership program. Also, Sandy 159. Welcome, my friend. 16 months. That's amazing. You guys have been there from the start. So what's amazing about this audience? Love you guys.
All right, let's get another question.
Okay, question from Sherm B.
Hello, Sherm. B.
I'm having trouble streaming live on Facebook. I have a bit of a delay and lag. I don't have a video card. What would you suggest I do?
Well, I suspect that you could have possibly a lack of understanding of what lag is. You're going to get latency. In other words, if you are watching your stream on Facebook, it will be 3 to 5 or maybe even up to 30 seconds behind what you are doing on camera. It's just the way it is. That's called latency. Latency is unavoidable. You can see it when they're doing ESPN discussions with people who are remote. Latency is a thing that you cannot get rid of. So if that is what you're referring to, I apologize, but it's not going to go away. However, and the Logician just posted a video that I did about this, which can help you to work through the problems that you might be having if it is lag. See, Tony Iverson says Facebook's average lag is 20 seconds. Tony, again, it is not lag. It is the latency that is built into the broadcast. Lag would be if I was talking and my voice was 2 or 3 seconds behind me talking. That would be lag. And if you are having lag problems, there are strategies that you can fix it. In that video that the Logician just posted, you can go ahead and check that out. I really wish that people would stop calling latency lag, because people are very confused about what you can actually fix and what cannot be fixed. And latency cannot be fixed. It is built into the system because it takes a certain amount of time for the video to go from here to YouTube or Facebook or whatever, and then be re-encoded and broadcast on that side. So hopefully that makes sense, and hopefully if you are experiencing actual lag, you'll check out that You're Wrong About Lag video, and it does give you strategies in order to fix lag that you might be having with audio and video and that sort of stuff, which I know it could be a real super duper pain in the butt to track that stuff down, but there are lots of ways to do it. So hopefully that helps. And by the way, Tony, it's all good, my friend. It's all good. Let's get another one. Hopefully I didn't mean to call you out like that. That was not cool on my part. But there you go. Let's get another question.
That was not cool on your part. Shouldn't be picking on your viewers.
I know. Well, Tony could take it. I know he could take it. I didn't mean
Broad
to.
shoulders.
Yeah, that's one of those things that really sets me off. Because if we would call it what it really is, it would make it a lot easier to help people to fix the stuff that can be fixed.
Yeah, and that's fine. But you have to like you just said it yourself. People don't understand the difference.
Yes.
So they need that explanation to understand one versus the other. So
You are correct, honey.
yes, I am.
Of course,
Most of the
you're
time.
always correct. Oh man.
All right. Next question
It is.
is from,
You know how I'm always bitching that it's cold and stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit toasty in here. I'm probably getting a slight bit fragrant. I'm
Wow.
thinking. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, write this down. Michael Feyrer
Yeah.
Jr. says it's hot.
No, I
Doesn't
didn't say
happen
that.
often.
It's a bit steamy though. I got a lot of lights. I got a light here, light here, light here, light there, light there, light there, light there. Those lights back there, which don't create a lot of heat. But I got a lot of lights that create a lot of heat.
Yep.
Plus, I'm a kind of a sweaty guy to begin with. I know the ladies will love that. Hey, Onion's in the house.
Hey, Onion.
What's up, Onion?
Okay. So are you ready? Ready for another question?
Infinite Ma says, isn't latency part of governing speed that companies have an advantage to? Infinite Ma, if that was the case, then you wouldn't see such ridiculous amounts of latency in like ESPN broadcasts and stuff like that. It's just bad sometimes. So it's just unavoidable. It's something that's really, really difficult to fix unless you have some sort of a direct fiber optic line or something crazy like that. But there you go. All right, what's next, babe?
Okay. Next is from Ted Fitzpatrick. Wanting
Well,
to
hello,
know
Ted.
why is PC OBS better than Mac OBS?
Huh. Well, it's not necessarily the version of OBS, and I'm really not sure that you can say this. I'm not sure that you can say this anymore. But there was a time when you could not. There was a time when you really couldn't reliably stream on a Mac because it just wasn't capable. And the reason why it wasn't capable is because it didn't have video card encoding like a PC does. That all kind of changed when the M1 Max came out, and then OBS created a version specifically designed for the M1 Mac. And now a lot of those problems no longer exist. However, there are better features included in the Windows OBS than in the Mac from an audio perspective, and that's just because of the nature of the way that audio is handled in a PC, where you could separate out the audio, whereas on a Mac, you gotta install like third-party applications just to be able to pick up your desktop audio. It's just not as, and it's kind of funny to even think about because people have been doing music and using Macs for that sort of stuff forever. But for whatever reason, the audio piece of Mac seems to be much more difficult to overcome, which is why OBS doesn't have a lot of Mac functionality from an audio perspective the way that they do on Windows. But from a reliability and streamability standpoint, otherwise, I don't think if you have an M1 Mac, you could go wrong. If you're using a Mac version, you're getting basically the same quality that you would be getting from a PC version. So yeah, they're pretty well. There was a time when I would have said don't stream on a Mac. You're not going to catch me saying that anymore. It's very very close. It's much better than it was. So yeah, there you have it. Let's get another question.
Okay. Question from Dwayne.
Hello,
Says,
Dwayne.
Is it possible to use two phones to stream in Prism Mobile?
I don't know how you would connect one to the other if you're just using Prism Mobile. you could theoretically use Prism Live Studio and connect to multiple phones, possibly. I'm pretty sure you could. Let me just take a quick look. Here. Go over here. So if you wanted to add a Prism mobile camera to here, you just add a Prism mobile camera and you log into the Prism mobile app. But you can add multiple phones. So yeah, as long as those phones are on the exact same network, you can add multiple phones to Prism Live Studio and stream with them. However, I don't know of a way to add multiple phones to a Prism mobile live stream. So, depending upon what you're asking, yes and no. Yes, if you're using Prism Live Studio, you can add multiple phones. If you are using Prism Mobile, no, I don't believe you can add multiple camera phones to one Prism Mobile stream. So hopefully that makes sense. Let's get another question.
Okay. I have a two-part question from Warrior of Light.
Well, hello, Warrior of Light.
First off, what is Prism, he says? Because he came in a bit late. He wants to know what Prism is.
Well, the easiest way to talk about what Prism is would be for me to just point you towards a video. So if Tech Examined or the Logician could drop in the video where I introduced Prism to folks, I would appreciate it. Essentially, Prism is basically a version of OBS, or almost like a branch of OBS, that has a lot of built-in features and is much easier to set up and use for a novice. The drawback to that is that it does use a little bit more of your computer power in order to run it. They're working on that, but at the moment, it does use a little bit more CPU to run. But essentially, you can do almost all the same things in Prism that you could do in OBS, and the UI is much simpler and easier to use. So that would be the difference. The Logician just posted that Prism Live Studio intro. If you want to know more, you can check it out there. Let's get another question.
Okay. Warrior of Light's second question, his main question basically. He says, I've had some issues with computers this week with streaming. The laptop is overheating. Going to work with my friend who is technical, but wondering if you know why this happens. Maybe because it's a gaming laptop and not a real computer?
Well, if the laptop is overheating, so it's a gaming laptop, and that begs the question, does it have an NVIDIA graphics card that has a chipset? Are you actually gaming on it? Or are you using X264 to do all of your encoding? When I used to live stream way back before you were supposed to or able to live stream on a Mac, when you would turn on that X264 and start to stream on your Mac, it sounded like a 747 taking off. So if your laptop doesn't have the proper cooling ability and it's using X264 to do the encoding, it's distinctly possible that it could run very, very hot. However, if it is a true gaming laptop with an NVIDIA graphics card in it, you should be able to select the NVIC encoder on it, which would mean that the graphics card does all the encoding, and it can also, of course, run the game and all that sort of stuff. So it's really a product of how you are encoding. But the harder you push any machine, the more chance that there is that you could somehow overheat it. Or, theoretically, maybe it's time to crack that puppy open and get out the spray air and spray it out to make sure that you don't have any blockages or passage blocks or any dust or anything else that's clogging up the machine's ability to cool everything off. Because that could be a thing too. Maybe you've got a fan inside that's not working properly anymore or something like that. So, there you go. At least you are getting fan spin on a Mac. Yes. That's very true. Very true. Let's get another question.
Okay. This question is from Indy.
Hello, Indy. I loved your movies, but I'm really nervous about the newest one coming up. I hear that it might not be all it's... We'll have to see. We're hopeful.
Got to give it a chance.
Yeah.
Just give it a chance. Okay. Question. Instead of OBS and Prism, there was another software you mentioned that started with the letter E. Can you remind me of that?
The other software that I might have mentioned that started with an E was possibly EV Mux would be what I would call the perfect option for folks who don't have a particularly powerful computer, want to be able to have multiple scenes and do pretty much a lot of the things that you can do with OBS, but have it but do it on a browser-based live streaming application. So basically what that means is you're just sending off video to your browser, and then all of the encoding and everything is done on the on EVMux servers, and then EVMux sends that out to whatever application you're streaming to. In EVMux case, it could be pretty much any application. You could stream to Facebook, Twitch, and Instagram or YouTube at the same time. So that would be what EVMux is. It is also free. A lot of the pieces of EVMux, like pretty much everything that I just described, are free. You just have a watermark, and if you want to get rid of that watermark, it's a very reasonable price. So EVMux is like it's like if OBS and StreamYard had a baby and came up with something good. That's what EVMux would be, because it is very, very close to the same style and types of features that you can do on OBS, up to and including alerts and even transitions from one scene to another. So there isn't a whole heck of a lot that EVMux doesn't have that OBS does. It's just that it takes all of the processing away from your computer and allows you to do it online. So it's definitely a cool option. If you haven't seen it, I would highly recommend you check it out. I'm pretty sure in my description there is a link to it. Probably. It should be, I think. Either way, somebody also put the link to the video if you want to check it out, because that makes more sense to check it out first anyways. And there is a link to it in that video. So let's get another question.
Okay. This is a follow-up question from V301 Mechatronics. This was earlier in the stream about the 360-degree camera.
Okay.
He says, I already ordered 2 cameras, one 60-degree on AliExpress and a cap, but I have never configured this product for 360-degree streaming before. Perhaps I'll make a front and rear camera switch for Twitch viewers to start with experiment. In YouTube videos, there is a joystick to rotate the image around 360.
Ah, there you go. Okay. Yeah, I haven't never had one, so I haven't had the opportunity to really poke around with it. But at some point, some Chinese company will ask me if I want to check one out, and then they'll send it to me. So I'll get a chance to check it out. But it's not something I would use on a relatively regular basis, so, it is what it is. It is what it is. Let's get another question.
Okay. Question from Tim Belanger.
Hello,
He
Tim.
says, should I shoot my main face video with white lighting or softer yellows? Is brighter always better?
Well, this is a really good question, and it probably has a lot to do with whatever your room lighting or your room background happens to be. In my case, I use blue in my background, so all of my lights are pretty white. I don't use any yellow lighting at all. It could also be my skin coloring. I just feel like my skin looks better under white lights. If I used yellower lights, I would look even more orange than I do. And of course, part of that is the shirt, and part of it is the lens that's on here and that sort of stuff. But you're gonna have to kind of play around with it and decide for yourself what's optimal for your room and for your skin tone. Um, Monica probably could use a little bit more softer orange in her tonality, but I have her lights all probably white as well because I'm just so used to putting them that way. so so yeah, there's that. But it definitely depends on what what your background looks like and all that kind of stuff as to how the lights work. One of the hardest things that I ever had to learn to finally start to get good at this camera thing and this YouTube thing is lighting, because it just doesn't make any sense. I could see that this side of my face is dark, so I turn that light up and it just completely changes the entire image. So figuring out how lighting works on camera is not easy. It takes a very long time because I can see the light and it makes sense to me, but when the camera sees the light, it sees it totally different. And it just takes a while to learn how to kind of play around with it to get it to do what you want. And I'm still not very good at it. It took me months to set up these cameras so that I think they look good. And that's why I really haven't moved them since, because it's a very, very difficult thing to get your lighting right. So my guess is you're about to embark on that journey and you will have to play around with it to get it set up so that it looks good for you. And there are plenty of videos out there on YouTube talking about how to properly set up lights and that sort of stuff. And I will say this, the lights can look different on every style of camera. So if I go over here to my tutorial screen and I bring up my OBS, you can see this this camera right here that I'm pointing at right now. I look pretty natural. I got a little sun today. I'm looking a little orangish. But this camera over here, you can see it's all blown out. I look very white and pale. So every camera deals with lights completely different. Plus, obviously, the lights for this camera are all set up so they're ideal. Whereas that little webcam there, not so much. Not so much. So, yeah. Enjoy, my friend. It will take you some time to figure it out. But when you do, you're going to be like, man, that was awesome. All right, babe, what you got?
Okay. Well, I have a question here from Chance. Who wants to know if I can do more cameos in your videos where I insult you and call you names.
Wait, what's this? I missed the...
I said there's a question from Chance.
Oh.
He wants to know if I can do more cameos in your videos where I insult you and call you names.
Hey, Monica's always welcome in my videos. Always welcome in my videos. And I think that was a fun thing. How long did that take us to film, honey? Like, I don't know, 10 minutes?
Which video?
It was the one where I did the Darth Vader voice.
Oh. Yeah, that was,
Hold on.
was...
Oh, there we go. We've got Brandon.
Join the streamer squad and testing. Long Dark Dong says, what happened to last week's midweek live stream? But we did address that earlier, testing, but we will address that in just a moment. But also, Brandon, thank you. Thank you so much. I do appreciate it.
All right. Sorry about that, honey.
That's okay.
Not really sorry about it. The
know.
the audience runs the stream.
You have
What?
to say that.
So how long did it take for us to film that?
Not long at all. Not long at all, because here's what happened. I was working because I'm, work during the week. I was working, and he came in and he says, I need you to tape something with me. And I'm like, you can't just tell me to come in and tape something with you. I got, there's... And so he's like, well, let's just practice. So we practiced once or twice, and he's like, okay, I'm going to use that. And I'm like, okay. It took like less than 5 minutes for us to actually do that. So yeah, it didn't take that long at all.
And it looked
But
pretty good. I'm pretty
it
sure you
did.
saw it. It
It was
looked pretty
okay.
good.
Yeah, it was all right.
If for those of you who have never done any blocking or anything like that, that is kind of the position where you put your camera and your people that are in your scene. And the way that you do it is completely different than the way that you would think you do it. So she's facing a completely opposite direction, but of course it looks like she's talking directly to me because your brain puts that stuff together. And she's like, this doesn't make any sense. I'm not even talking to you. I said, well, trust me, when you're on camera, it will look like you are. And then Testing Long Duck Dong wanted to know why we missed last week's live stream.
Yes, long story short, it was my fault. I actually had to work, and I couldn't get away to come and ask the questions, which is my favorite part of the week. So we couldn't do the stream. So
Yeah, it was kind
apologies
of a
for that,
bummer.
guys.
And
Yeah.
it was like a last minute thing. She's like, well, maybe this and maybe that. And I'm like, you know what? This is not going to happen. I'm not going to, not going to go crazy. So we get to have it this week and enjoy
Yep.
the fun.
That's
All right,
right.
let's get another question.
Okay. Let's see. What's my next question? Okay. Henry Gaming has the next question.
Hello,
He says,
Henry.
would you recommend the Live U backpack for broadcasting events?
I don't know what the Live View backpack is, so I don't know if I would recommend it or not. If the Live View company that makes the Live View backpack wants to send me one so I could check it out, I would definitely love to check it out. I don't know what it is. Maybe somebody in the audience knows what it is, or they can let me know. But this is not a thing that I've ever seen, so I'm sorry I can't be more help. Let's get another one.
So then moving on to Grumpus on Fire.
Grumpus on Fire, welcome.
Grumpus on Fire. He said, what is your opinion on EV versus Prism or StreamYard? Free 1080p seems hard to beat to me.
So he compares EV to StreamYard and what's the other one?
Prism.
Okay. Well, I can definitely tell you this: you're going to get a lot more. You're going to get a lot more features in Prism than you are. But Prism also runs on your computer, whereas StreamYard and EV run on your browser. So they're completely different things. You really can't compare Prism directly with EV and StreamYard. However, EV is very, very, very much closer to the features and stuff that you can do on Prism than it is to StreamYard, which still has a ways to go. And they don't really seem to be doing much to update it. So if I had to make a recommendation and you wanted to do, and you had, you wanted to do streaming that uses a browser-based live streaming tool, then EV is an awesome, awesome utility. If you wanted it to run on your computer, then Prism is an awesome, awesome utility. So one of those two. It's not that there's anything wrong with StreamYard. It just doesn't have anywhere near the feature set that you're going to get with the other two. And I just noticed something
I did
right
too.
now. It's You Do It is here once again for the very
the
first time.
Wow.
Hello, You Do It. It is awesome to see you, my friend.
Hey, You
Welcome
Do It.
back.
Good to see you
Welcome back. Welcome back.
for the very first
I think
time.
that's a song, but
Welcome back. Yes.
Welcome back.
that's the one. There's at least two other people in this live stream who might even remember that.
Yep.
Ooh, ooh, Mr. Carter! Ooh, ooh, Mr. Carter! Ooh.
Well, thank you. You do it. I appreciate that. It's not me, my friend. It is all these amazing audience members. I cannot actually believe
Whoa!
that it happened. 200,000 people somehow decided they enjoyed my content enough to click that subscribe button. That blows my mind. It's incredible. So,
Yeah.
thank you guys. Oh, all right, let's get another question, beautiful lady.
All right. Okay. Fix-a-Lot is the next up with a question. It says, my sub alert does not work and I'm using OBS. I have everything enabled in Streamlabs too.
Yeah. Well, the only reason why it wouldn't work is because possibly you're logged into Streamlabs under the wrong platform, like you should be logged into the Twitch segment of it and you're logged into the YouTube segment of it, or potentially you have it behind your main scene. So in other words, it has to be on top of the scene list. In the browser source has to be on top of there in order for the alerts to actually appear on your live stream above everything else. If you are using Stream Elements, the explanation for that is, generally speaking, loading the browser source in as 800 by 600 instead of 1920 by 1080. Those are things that happen, very frequently. So as far as Streamlabs, those are the only two things I can think of that would cause it, is you're not logged in properly to your Streamlabs account under the streaming platform that you're streaming to, or you do not have it in the proper order in your sources list on your OBS. So there you go. Hopefully that helps you out. Let's get another question. Jimmy Rizzo's wondering if he's banned. I'm pretty sure you might be banned somewhere, but not here yet.
Not yet.
Let's get another
We're still
question.
reading his chats. He's not banned yet.
The logician, same thing. Not yet.
Okay. Mega Squad Trevor has put in a question, honey. He says, my channel has an active community guideline strike, and I've been wanting to monetize my content. Is there a way to still activate memberships and super chats if I have a warning?
I don't think that having a warning on your channel is prohibitive of you actually monetizing, unless I'm not aware of how that would affect monetization. I've never had a guideline or a community strike or anything like that on my channel. I run a pretty tight ship. I don't like there to be any ambiguity whatsoever, because I make a living doing this. So if something like that were to happen, I would be in some big trouble. However, I do think that while the strike is active for however long it is, you probably cannot monetize content. But I'm not actually sure, since, like I said, I've never had a strike before. Maybe somebody in the comments has a little more backstory or information on that, and can be more specific. But as far as I know, if you've had a content strike in the past, once the certain period of time passes, you should be able to monetize your content again. I don't know if it's 30 or 60 days or 90 days or however long it is. Once that period is over and you can start to release content again, it should be monetizable. So there you go. Let's get another question.
There you go. Okay. Question from End Your Search. Wanting to know if you back up any of your footage with external drives, what would you recommend as an external backup drive?
All right. So, I have footage, man. So what I do, and I don't know if I have any sitting here. Kind of looking to see if I do, and I don't. But usually what I do is I go on to Amazon and I search for like backup drive or SSD or whatever. And I buy the cheapest 4 to 6 terabyte drive that I can absolutely find, because these are just storage. I am not going to be using them every day. And in fact, when they're full, I unplug them, put them to the side, and just plug another one in. So there isn't any reason why these have to be super high quality or anything like that. They just need to be big and store data. So when I do all of the videos that I do, every single video that I've ever shot in the 5 years that I've been doing this, I have backed up on one of those drives. And usually you get like 4 terabyte cheap drives for, I don't know, $100, something like that. So I just fill them up and then put them to the side and plug in a new one. That's basically my whole entire backup strategy. Now, the strategy for finding that footage after the fact, not so good. Not so good. But you know, it's very rare that I actually go back and find that stuff. And a lot of times, if I need footage from a video or something that I shot, I can go back on YouTube and find the video and just download the video and clip out footage right from there. So I find that I'm probably just wasting money backing up all this footage, but at the same time, I want to have it just in case. So that is my entire strategy. Hopefully that helps you out. Let's get another question.
Okay. We have about 10 questions left, and it's 8:34.
So I think 10 questions, huh? All right, well, let's go ahead and
May I have your attention? The form will be closing in 10 minutes. Please make your final submissions and bring them to the front of the form now. An associate will assist you in reading your question on stream. As always, thank you for being a valued live stream participant.
So there you go. We're on the clock for the countdown to the form ending. Get them in if you want to ask a question.
My coolness.
You like that, huh? For those who are wondering, that epic timer right there was another chance joint. He hooked us up with that puppy once again, and we're going to get whisked away in a moment. Here we go. Testing Long Duck Dong says, for putting up with more crap than you should and taking it as well as having what it takes to stand up to big companies and speaking your mind on how you feel. Well, thank you. Testing. You know, the thing is if you're not willing to tell people exactly how you feel about a product, then your word isn't worth anything. Nobody would trust anything I'd say if I just came on here. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm a positive person and I will always try to talk about the positives of a product or a user experience. But I certainly don't shy away from talking about the things that I wish were better. So, there you go. And I appreciate it. Thank you, Testing. It means a lot. It means a lot that people actually notice. There is something to be said, in my opinion, about having actual integrity in today's world. And I like to think that I do. But then again, who knows? I'm just a guy. I'm just a guy who does a thing. Oh, let's get another question.
I see here Ingrid Sanchez is asking if you have a blue light special.
You have a blue light special for what?
Well, with the countdown timer. Only this much time left. The blue light special.
that is how long the form will be opened if you would like to ask a question. So you got to get your questions in there, and we will definitely answer every single one of them. Let's get another one, Pumpkin.
Okay. We have a question here from Harry Hagen.
Hello,
He
Harry.
says, if you're viewing a video in OBS, how would your guests see it too?
If you're viewing a video in OBS, how would your guests see it too? Okay, so this is a little more difficult. I have done something like this in the past. Let me show you the guest action that I'm using currently right now. So in order to get Monica on here, what I'm doing is I'm using an application called Melon currently. I'm going to be putting out a video on how to use another application, but for now that's what we're doing. So I use a display capture to capture her particular monitor, and it's also where Michael is connected so that I have him on there as well. So if I go up here, you can see if I do that, you can see there are 3 of us here, not just Monica. It just so happens that we embiggen it so that she is the only one on there. However, if I go like this, I can share, and then I can share media with them as well. So theoretically, I could share the audio and everything from my main scene. And just so you kind of know what I'm talking about. So I could theoretically go and share with my guests, this monitor right here. No, not that one. This one right here. So I could theoretically share this monitor right here with my guests, and that way the video that's playing here with the audio, they would be able to hear all that stuff and see it at the same time that I'm seeing it by just sharing the screen. So hopefully that makes sense to you. It is not by any stretch of the imagination the ideal situation. It makes life a little bit difficult. However, if it's not something that you're going to be doing all the time, but you just happen to have a video that you want everyone to be able to see at the same time, that is the best way to do it. A couple of weeks ago, the Logician made a video for us for the 200,000 subscriber milestone. And I wanted everybody to be able to watch it together. So that's exactly how we did it. I loaded that video into my OBS, and then I just shared the OBS screen with my guests so they could see and hear all that stuff as well. So that is kind of the easiest way that you could do something like that. Let's get another question.
Okay. Question from Fixmin.
Hello,
And
Fixman.
Fixmin says, how do I stream in YouTube and Twitch at the same time?
Well, it depends what application you're using to do your live streaming. I did a video not very long ago on how to multi-stream in OBS. So one of my mods can go ahead and put that link in there. If you are streaming from Prism Live Studio, it is built right into multi-stream to multiple platforms. If you're streaming from something like EVMux or Restream or StreamYard, it would be a completely different application that you would use. And of course, if you happen to be one of the few that are still using Streamlabs OBS, it would be, again, a different way to do it. So, Fixman, the video that the Logician just dropped in there would be how you can live stream to multiple platforms at the exact same time through OBS. Now, there is one other way that you could do it, and that would be to use Restream as a redirector. Restream has a specific piece of their product that will allow you to load to stream to the Restream server, and then they'll split it off to YouTube and Twitch and wherever else you want it to go to. But I do think that if you use that, it will put a watermark in your stream unless you pay for it. So there is that. But the one to just go directly from OBS is the video that the Logician just put right there. So hopefully that helps you out. Let's get another question. And of course, as you can see, we've got 2 minutes left on the form, and then it will close. So if you have questions, get them in. It's hard to say you weren't warned today.
That's right. That's true. Okay, Zane Shah has a question. And he says, I've been on platform for 2 years, and I feel like I'm repeating the same thing over and over. How do I get over it, even though I understand that the audience changes all the time?
You know, this is a problem that you're going to run into when you do any sort of content creation, and you guys will know it. You guys will notice it in my content as well. I do have some very, very amazing and dedicated audience members that come and hang out on my live streams and have fun and everything else. But a lot of those folks are now started out 2 years ago, maybe learning about live streaming, and now are experts. But I continue to produce videos for every level of live streamer. So some of that stuff may not interest them. In fact, some of that stuff may be repeats where I update an older video. And believe me when I tell you, when you're doing a video for the third time that's essentially the same with just a couple of updates here and there, it can get very tedious. It can get very tedious. So, it is what it is. If YouTube and doing this thing and creating content is what you really want to do, yeah, well, it's just one of those things that you kind of have to overcome. How do you overcome it? I don't really know. I deal with it the same all the time. Some days I just don't feel like doing it. The difference is that I treat this like a business. So on days when I don't feel like doing it, I still do it. I just do it. Yesterday is my studio day. Did not want to film. I just didn't want to film. So I was in the studio till 8 o'clock at night. Mostly because I was just dicking around all day long instead of just doing it because I didn't want to do it.
Tonight's question forum is now closed. It will reopen next Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you and enjoy the rest of tonight's broadcast.
Well, thank you. So the forum is closed, so you are aware. But yeah, so that's the best way to overcome it. Don't give yourself an out. If the video has to be done, it has to be done. If I'm sitting in this studio sweating to the oldies until 9 o'clock at night instead of doing something I'd rather be doing, that's what I do. I don't give myself an out. And it works for me. It might not work for everybody, but that's how we manage to release 2 videos a week and have them be of reasonably decent quality. And I'm not rushing at the last minute to get anything done. I have a schedule and I stick to it. So I don't overthink too much about having to do the same subjects over and over again, because it just is what it is. I look at it like this. There's always going to be new viewers on my channel who are trying to learn the same things. YouTube didn't share an old video. Maybe it wasn't very good. Maybe it was great. The audience just didn't care for it. When I redo it, it could take off. People could absolutely love it. Every once in a while you get surprised. A lot of times you just get disappointment. That is what YouTube is really all about. So you just got to be thick-skinned, basically. That's the best way that I can put it. All right, babe, what you got?
Okay, I have a question from Mark.
Hello, Mark.
He says, I've asked numerous times about your shotcut studies, so you better have finally got your butt in gear and opened up your mind to something new and have a lot to tell us about your findings on yays and nays about the program, please.
I did look at shotcut, I think.
I almost deleted that question. I was like, is this guy yelling at Michael? And I was like, oh, I know exactly what this is. Leave it in there.
Yeah, he is kind of yelling at me. Because it's probably not even the same guy that originally asked the question. But I took a look at Shotcut, and, it's basically a free open source cross-platform video editor. And so if you wanted to edit your stuff, you could probably use it. Now, I haven't checked it out as a video editor, and one of the reasons why is because I can't do a video on it anyways. This channel is about live streaming and not necessarily video editing. However, if you want to check it out, it looks relatively comprehensive. Let me show you my other screen so you could take a look. So, I mean, it looks like a pretty if I'm being honest, it looks a lot like DaVinci Resolve. So, and so it has all kinds of stuff. It looks like it looks like it could be something that you could check out. However, I don't know why you would use a software like Shotcut when you can use DaVinci Resolve for free, and it is a professional software that people film feature-length films on. So that it could do everything that you want it to do and more. Now, is something like Shotcut easier? Maybe. But if YouTube is what you want to do, you're going to have to learn to edit. Trust me, you're going to have to learn to edit. So you may as well use software that's going to be able to give you the features all the features that you could possibly ever want. So, story time. When I first started YouTube, I had never edited a video in my entire life. So I went out and picked up a copy of Adobe because it was the one that had all kinds of tutorials talking about how you could use it and all that stuff, and it seemed like the one that everyone was using, and at the time I suppose it probably was. So I picked up Premiere Pro and I just went through tutorial after tutorial after tutorial after tutorial for about a week straight, and then the next week I just started filming and editing that stuff together. And that was literally the very, they were bad. They were really bad. It's difficult to figure out how to tell a story in video, especially when you barely know how to shoot the video. But YouTube is literally all the jobs that you would have to know on a feature film. So you are the cinematographer, and you are the videographer, and you are the editor, and you are the promotional guy who has to promote the video, and you have to make all the promotional materials like the thumbnails and the titles. That's all you. Everything that would ever have to happen on a feature film, when you do YouTube, you have to be that guy. So that's why it's hard to learn. It is not easy to learn YouTube, and anyone who manages to stick to it long enough to figure that stuff out, amen to you. Amen to you. People who come to YouTube who already have experience in one or two of those areas have a humongous advantage. But it doesn't mean that you can't learn all those things. Like I said, on day one, I had never edited a video, never edited audio. I never created music. The music that opens this live show, that's my music. I wrote that before I even filmed my first video. So all of those things you can learn. But that's why it takes a long time to find success on YouTube. So if you don't find it right away, that's okay. Because once you figure out how to film and how to shoot and how to edit and how to create a thumbnail and all those things, once you figure out all that stuff, then you're going to be ready to figure out how to actually create content that YouTube wants. Trust me, all that other stuff is great to know, but until you figure out what YouTube wants, you're not going to get any views anyways. So it's a great time to learn how to do all of those other things first. It'll take some time, but it's really rewarding, and you'll know very quickly if it's what you want to do, if it's your calling. Because if it's not, you're going to give up long before you find success. And if it is, you're never even going to think about giving up. So you'll figure it out eventually. Just ask Mr. Beast. He did this for years with nobody watching until he figured it out. And, most people are like that. Anyway, that's my little sidebar. Hopefully that helps you out. Let's get another question.
Okay, Foxclaw has a question.
Well, hello, Onion.
How do you set it up where people can click links on your YouTube video? Like when people say, click here in the corner for my next video, etc. Since the video is pre-recorded, it's a mystery how that works.
Okay, so are you talking about for live streams or for YouTube videos?
I think it's YouTube videos. Like when you say, check out my video, if you want to watch this, click here.
All right. So if we go over here, I'm in the wrong place. If we go over here, all right. So when you are creating your content, right? And let's just go in here. So you've got your subtitles, which you can load up. You've got your end screen, which puts those little clicky videos at the end of your video. The thing that you're looking for is cards. And you can place a card for a video or a playlist or a channel anywhere in the video. So you just put your playhead wherever you want to put it, and then you just go and click here and add the video and all that kind of stuff. So that's how this works. Then it will add a card, and when you add a card, it'll show up in the top right hand corner. So you can mention it and then just put it in the video. I don't use cards anywhere near as much as I should. You know, I use at my end screens, but I could use my cards a lot more effectively. All right, hopefully that makes sense. So there you go. Let's get another one.
There you go. Okay. Okay, Brian is asking a question. He wants to know, is there a way to change OBS G-text sources through OBS WebSockets?
G-text sources. So basically what this question is about, for those of you who are wondering, and I don't know if the G-text, is that what it's called? The GDI text sources. So is there a way to change these through the WebSocket? The answer to that is not that I am aware of, but possibly. So, in other words, there is a... I wonder if I have it loaded in here. So when you do a GDI, okay? Let's see here. I don't know that it would be through WebSocket. But when you create a text, you have the ability to read that text from file. And this gives you the opportunity to do all kinds of things in the background that can populate that file. Okay? Which reminds me. So it allows you to do all kinds of things in the background that can populate that file. If you do not... it would be really difficult for me to explain it to you. And honestly, I hadn't figured it out yet. But I do know that it may not be through the WebSocket, but I do believe that it is possible to do what you're trying to do. And I guess that's the best answer that I can give you at the moment, is that you could certainly have a GDI text update from other sources. Maybe not necessarily through WebSocket, but through other sources. You can definitely do it. In fact, there's an application that you used to be able to download, probably still can, from Streamlabs, that would do, it was called Stream Labels, and that would basically update those text files exactly like you're talking about. So you would just load up those text files, and then it would update your stream labels. And stream labels are these things up here. So yeah, it's possible, but maybe not in the way that you're thinking about it. All right, babe.
Yes. Hold on, let me find where I'm at. All right, okay. Question from Jibba to Jabba. They say, I have recently purchased a Sony A5100 as a webcam connected by Elgato Camlink, and it worked amazing. Then a couple of days later, after updating my OBS to the most current version, I started to see very slight glitches or tears almost in a straight line in the middle of the screen. I then tried my old webcam and it has the same tears and glitching with movement. I've tried literally everything, putting USB 3.0 and 3.1, literally everything. How can I fix this?
Well, that's really fascinating. It sounds like... So, what software did he say updated?
He has updated to the most current version of OBS.
Interesting. So I would probably roll back to the last version of OBS and see if it possibly fixes the problem. The Logician has another option, which is to delete the source and add it back in, and that could definitely be it. If you're just changing the source with the properties window instead of deleting the source and putting it back in, if the source is messed up somehow, it could just continue the messed up source. But if that were not to work, you may have to go ahead and just roll back to the previous version of OBS.
Well, they said they did.
So.
To add, I have rolled back and deleted the sources, they said.
Oh, wow. Interesting. So what's the what is the common denominator if multiple cameras are doing the exact same thing? I don't know. I don't know. See, that might be a thing where you want to put your log, go into OBS's forums and put what you're experiencing in there, and they'll ask you for your logs, and they may be able to walk you through and figure out what is actually happening to what's causing your issue. Because that's, that sounds pretty stinky. By the way, we never did this tonight, but I want to know in the chat, let us know where you're from, everybody, please, so we can see what sort of an international audience we have. And plus, I forgot to start that other thing, so I like to have that.
Oh.
So, in order for that to actually happen, we need 58 concurrent viewers to say hi in the chat right now. Hello! Yes.
Hello.
Bring it out. Come on, bring it on, baby. I will dance. I will dance like a monkey. It's going to be great. Here we go. Come on, type in the chat. I mean, we got folks from Milwaukee and Spain and, oh my gosh, New Hampshire.
Mexico City.
Holy
Hawaii. Boise.
mackerel.
Milwaukee.
England, the Philippines. Oh, that's so awesome.
England.
So awesome. My goodness. Dear goodness.
California.
Yes,
Ooh, Dusty
we've got
Bricks is
folks
from
from
Oz.
everywhere. Oz,
Oz.
the land down under. Okinawa, once upon a time.
Once upon a time. Idaho.
Idaho, St. Petersburg, back where the weather is epically awesome. Minnesota,
Minnesota.
for sure. Don't you know? Oh, man. All right. Well, I guess we should go on to answer some more questions. And
I guess we
please
should.
do not hesitate to continue to let us know where you're from and say hi. All 62 concurrent viewers. I like to make sure that everybody says hi in the chat so we know
Canada.
that we know everybody who's here. Canada. Very cool.
Canada.
Except for it's cold. Yes, and please do hit that like button. That is always helpful. We are very, very far away from our normal like number tonight, but it is what it is.
That's okay.
It is okay.
That's okay. We're doing good. We're doing good.
We're doing amazing. We got 12 new members tonight. Can you believe
I
that?
know. It's crazy.
Pima Air and Space went on a rampage.
I know. I know.
He wants to make
Must've
sure
been-
everybody's a member. That's awesome.
Yes. Yes, it is. Okay, so let's answer some more questions. We have Brandon, the anime guy, who has the next question.
Well, hello, Brandon.
He says, curious as to why you chose OBS over Streamlabs OBS. Also, on one of
Ah.
your last videos, you use lots of Streamlabs widgets, but I see you also have Stream Elements going on your live stream. Curious as to the why on both of these.
All right. Well, I use OBS because basically it's better. Now you have lots of cool built-in features in Streamlabs. I do not deny that. However, it is it's slow. It doesn't handle as many things at once. It's just it's like putting a pretty UI that slows the machine down on top of OBS. Yes, Siberian Foxclaw hit the nail on the head. Streamlabs OBS is a resource monster. So whereas OBS is super streamlined and meant to put as little stress on your computer as it possibly can, the same sorts of cautions were not taken when doing Streamlabs OBS. So that's why I don't use that. Why do I use Stream Elements alerts instead of Streamlabs? Well, the main reason is because in the Stream Elements alerts, you can you see the screen. You can place them on the screen wherever you want. You know exactly where it's going to show up on your live stream. because the whole screen is built right there and you just place the things where you want them. If you want to do stuff like that with custom alerts and that sort of stuff in Streamlabs, it is nowhere near, anywhere near that easy. So that's why I use it. However, there are a couple of Streamlabs alerts that I do use, and I did the video because I want to make sure that everyone has the opportunity to use whatever they prefer. Because let's be honest, just because I use one doesn't mean everyone else has to. We got to go back over here because I didn't even see. I have to see what Mr. I just sent a super chat. Well, let's see. Is there a sticker? Oh, it goes. Oh, a diamond. Well, thank you, Testing Long Duck Dong. I super appreciate it. I have the best audience in all of YouTube. I really do. All right, so that is the reason why I use Stream Elements, but also why I don't use Streamlabs OBS. So hopefully that makes sense. If I were going to use something other than OBS for my live streams, it would definitely either be Evie Mukes or it would be Prism Live Studio. And unfortunately, at the moment, Prism Live Studio has some very similar issues to Streamlabs OBS, although I don't think quite as bad, but it has some similar issues. It's not quite as efficient as it should be. The difference is that the Prism guys talk to me personally all the time and tell me what they're working on and what they're doing, and I know that priority number one for them right now is to get that operating system, or to get that platform as streamlined as possible so that they can have all of those epic features and it doesn't take up much more CPU power than OBS does. And they're really dedicated to it, so I'm sure they will figure it out at some point. Let's get another question.
Okay, next question is from Struzy Live.
Hello.
Can you explain between internet speed, upload speed, and screen resolution, which delivers the best quality to a viewer?
Well, they're all totally different things. So, your stream upload speed, your download speed doesn't matter. So your internet speed, I have 1 gigabit internet. That doesn't matter because that's the download speed. And trust me, 9 times out of 10, I'm not getting anywhere near that. However, the upload speed can dramatically affect your ability to stream high quality video. So generally speaking, the resolution that you're going to want to stream at ideally is 1920 by 1080. That will require 6,000 kilobits per second. In order to stream at 6,000 kilobits per second, you generally want an upload speed that's probably around at least 12 megabits per second. So if your megabits per second is less than 12, you may struggle with a 6,000 kilobits per second live stream. Now, you may not, because you could have a super solid connection. But generally speaking, I like to have about double the bandwidth because it fluctuates all the time. Sometimes I have 10, sometimes I have 14, then I have 12. So you just never know. If you want to be rock solid, you stay half of the upload speed, you're in good shape. But generally speaking, 6,000 kilobits per second in 1920 by 1080, 30 frames per second is going to give you the kind of quality that you see here. You may have to go to a higher bit rate if you're going to stream in 60 frames per second, but you'll want to test to see. There is no purpose in trying to live stream in 4K at this point, in my opinion. If people really want to spend the kind of money and time and energy it takes to do that, I mean, I could do that. I could stream this camera in 4K. I certainly could. And I probably even have the connection that can make it happen. But what's the point? Most people are watching this on their cell phone. They're probably not even seeing it in 1920 by 1080. So yeah, don't go crazy. I would say that it is much more important to have your audio quality as good as possible. And if you do, you will have a happy audience, no matter what the video looks like. So hopefully that makes sense. People will watch poor quality video if the audio is good. People will not watch a video with poor audio. They just won't. So that should be your main focus. Get great audio. Let's get another question.
Okay, question from Back in the Day Gaming. Wanting to know, is it possible to use Ninja Chat in Polypop Live?
That is a fantastic question. I would guess that the answer to that is yes. However, you may not necessarily be able to pop it in as a dock, so you may have to use it external of Polypop. But all of the chat that we're talking about, like that chat right there, BRS Reviews, says 56K. He's talking about his modem speed, apparently. In order to do that, that's just a browser source. So, you can add the browser source and then be able to just select your chat and pop it in there just like that. And to do that, it's just, adding a browser source. So whether you can dock it or not may not necessarily mean anything. I'm guessing you probably can get Ninja Chat to work in there. I've never tried it personally, though, so I don't know for sure, but I'm guessing you probably can. All right, let's get another question.
Okay. Question from Kona Lore. Have you tried AV1 encoding for YouTube? I was hearing it's good for those with limited bandwidth.
I did hear that AV1 encoding is going to have the opportunity to lighten up the bit rate on your live streams. I have not tested it out, and I don't know enough about the encoder to speak intelligently about it, but I did hear that it could be a thing. But I also was under the impression that AV1 is not enabled yet in YouTube, so YouTube can't use it yet anyways. However, when they do enable that sort of stuff, I suspect that it will make it easier for some people, assuming that the encoding is not harder on your computer than NVIC is. So there you go. Hopefully that makes sense. The guy to watch on that, if you're really interested, is Epos Vox. Epos Vox does all kinds of videos about the codecs and the encoding and all that sort of stuff. And he is much more knowledgeable, especially when it pertains to the new codecs that are being added into OBS. In fact, I think he does a lot of the testing for those encoders that get put into the OBS. So if you have not seen Epos Vox's content on all those encoders, I definitely highly recommend you check it out. He does a heck of a job of explaining what they are and how they work, and of course what they're working on right now. I think last time he mentioned AV1, he said that it wasn't yet functional in YouTube yet. So hopefully soon. Let's get another question.
Okay. All right. Question from Skylon.
Hello, Skylon.
They say, it says, I'm using the newest OBS, and whenever and whatever I stream, I always have dropped frames after almost every 4 to 5 minutes. I use an AMD GPU, an RX 580 8 gig, and a Ryzen 5 2600 CPU with 16 gigs of RAM. My upload speed is well over 100 meg, and I tried both of the encoders that are possible for me with several options, and it still sucks. So basically, what should I do to optimize OBS for my specs, or should I use another alternative?
Well, it depends what encoders are available to you. If we're talking about X264, that explains everything. Because exceptionally powerful machines, when they're running games, will still struggle if we're using X264. And that's the problem, generally speaking, with AMD hardware. Now, from what I understand, there is an encoder built into AMD chips as well, but you may have to load in the encoder software into OBS. I don't know if you still have to do that or whether it's included or not. But if you're using X264, that pretty much tells me exactly why you're having those problems. So you want to go out and do a little bit of research on the AMD specific encoder and load that up there, and that should fix your problem. But you're going to struggle if you're using X264, because basically what that does is that takes up your entire CPU cycle encoding that video, which means that your game and anything else has to wait its turn. When the game takes its turn, then the encoding doesn't get done on time and it drops frames. Generally speaking, it is the exact same problem that we used to have when streaming on old Macs. X264 is just, it doesn't use an encoder, it uses the CPU. And so that's what causes the problem. AMD, I believe, has a dedicated encoder on it now, but you may have to actually load it into OBS in order for it to work. So I would check that out. I would do a because with an NVIDIA graphics card, I never have to worry. I load the NVIC encoder. The encoding is all done on a separate chip on my video card, and I never have to worry about it. So all that extra work, if it's using X264, is what your problem is. So do a little bit of research on your AMD card, find out what the encoder is, load that encoder into OBS, and then select that encoder instead of X264, and you should be golden, or at least a lot better. Hopefully that helps you. Let's get another question.
Okay, Techie has a question. They say, have you ever thought about collabing live with other YouTubers who do similar channels like you to share thoughts and research?
That would be a lot of fun. I would certainly love to get together and do a live stream with some of those dudes. But most of them are gamers and that sort of stuff, so it hasn't been a priority. It's not like Nutty will even respond to friending me on on Discord, which is kind of a long-running joke. But no, I mean, I don't actually know any of those guys. I don't know Alpha Gaming. I do not know Nutty personally, and I also do not know East Post Vox. I watch their content just like you guys do. Maybe at some point I will get the opportunity to run into one of them at some sort of YouTuber conference or something like that. I have, however, talked to Scott Fitcher, who also does this sort of content. I have messed around and talked to him a little bit on Facebook. I also know some guys who aren't necessarily in my niche, but are relatively large, like Nick Nimmin and guys like that I've talked to personally. And I've actually had Nick Nimmin on a stream a very, very long time ago. So it's not a thing that I'm against, but it's really difficult to put these streams together as it is. So adding guests and stuff, well, we'd have to have a great plan and really be interested in putting something together. And if that was the case, I'm certainly interested. Yeah, Scott Fitcher has been absent for a little bit of while. I hope he's all right. All right, let's get another question.
Okay, this one is from SCL Gaming. He says, on Prism mobile app, is there a way to make widgets just show for the viewer?
Prism mobile apps widgets. I don't know. So if you're talking about using browser sources or anything, I'm not really aware of any browser sources that work properly on Prism Mobile. So I could be wrong about that, but you don't have to. In other words, if you were to load something like that, you're going to see it on your screen too. So I get what you're talking about. But if you see it, then the audience sees it. And that's kind of the way that works. Other than the 30-second little preview thing, and then boom, it's on the screen, and then it'll go away. But when you can't see it, neither can your audience. So I suppose that's what you're talking about. I know that they're working on getting alert systems and that sort of stuff to work in Prism Mobile, and I think that would be awesome. That would be super cool. So hopefully that comes soon. All right, what you got, babe?
Okay. Well, I regret to inform you that that is the last of the questions.
What do you mean that's the last of the questions? How could that be
Okay.
the last of the questions?
Well, we had questions and then we finished them and answered the questions, so there are no more questions to answer today. Next
So what
week,
you're
more
trying to
questions.
wait, I don't. Yeah, something's not computing because it sounds like you're trying to say that no one's asking any questions.
Well, people may be asking questions or they may need to ask questions, but because the form is closed, they cannot put their questions in the form.
The form is closed.
The form is
Well,
closed.
Well, that I don't understand. How did that happen?
It was closed.
It was closed.
Yes.
Well, who closed the form down?
I'm not sure. That's a mystery.
Well, let's see if we can solve this mystery. If I'm smart enough to figure it out.
Are you going to try?
I'm thinking about it. Oh, nope, I'm not gonna try.
You're not going to try? It's not
No.
going to happen?
I don't think so. I don't think we're gonna be able to figure out who shut the form down tonight.
Not
You know
today?
why?
No.
'Cause there's this Michael Feyrer guy. He's
Yeah?
an idiot. He's an idiot. You know what I mean? He's a total idiot. And what he did do is what he was supposed to do, which is set this stuff up before the stream
Oh.
so that we would have all of the names loaded into the form, and then we could see all those names, and we could determine right from the start who shut the form down. But instead, he's an idiot. So we will just never know.
So how about we just blame him?
Well, all right, let's.
That's a
we'll have
good
to
answer.
We'll just have to go to the old tried and true.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. We know what happens there.
There we go.
Close the form
Let's
down.
see. Who did it? Who shut the form down?
Who
Who
closed
did
the
it?
form down?
Who was it?
Who
Well, we're
closed the
gonna find
form
out
down?
who it was.
Close the form down. Close the form down.
There we go. Oh,
Tech
it
examined.
was tech examined. Why would you do that?
No. How
Because
did that happen?
the timer thing ran out and I closed it. It was me all along.
You know the funny thing is that's the truest one we ever get. Because
It was me, Austin. Vince McMahon the entire time.
that's the truest one we ever get because literally it is him. Literally. When that form ends, guess who closes it down?
This guy.
Single time. You're pulling back the curtain there.
Well, you know,
Oh well.
I can't help it.
I'm a big boy. I can take it.
Well, you know, here's the thing. I'm not sure if I do this. Let's see what happens.
Who closed the form down?
Oh, see, we've got some blank ones there. That's the
Hopefully
problem.
it doesn't land on the black hole,
The black one, yeah.
the black lines.
Well, we'll see what happens here.
Let's do it.
We got some black ones because I'm stupid. That's why those black things exist. But now I have to figure out how I can kick it off because I don't remember because I'm stupid. Yes. I know there's a button here to make this happen. But I'm stupid. Oh, here it is. Here we go.
Who closed the form down? Who closed the form down?
Who closed the form down? Oh no.
Testing long dark dawn. Close the form down. Now we know.
Now
There it
we
is.
know.
Ah, goodness. It's hard to believe. It's hard to believe after all the love.
So close to bankrupt there. We're lucky.
Why? Why?
Yeah. Oh, well, and he's probably gone now, he or she, because we don't know. We don't know.
That's right.
But we love him either way, even if he did shut the form down. Here's
It
what
had
it
to
He
is.
be
identifies as a long duck dong.
Oh, I can see, yes. Well, honey, I guess it's that time.
I think it is that time. It is very much that time. We thank you all for hanging out with us this entire evening and having some fun and asking your questions. We did run a little later than usual. However, hopefully it won't be a problem next week because we'll get everything all straightened out. But we do appreciate you being here. We do really enjoy coming every Wednesday to talk to you guys and to hang out and chat and laugh and have a good time. So next week we will be back next Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the only legitimate time zone. And our older viewers will know what that means. So if you guys want to come back, ask your questions. The forum will be open again, and you can come back and just hang out. And if you have no questions, come back anyway. Have some popcorn, kick back, relax for 2 hours, and have some laughs.
Yes. We would definitely love that. Thank you, honey, and
Yes,
thank you,
thank
Michael,
you.
for
Welcome.
moderating and all that good stuff.
Good night,
Let's
guys.
pop-
Dong, where is my automobile?
He might not be here, but these people over here rock. Now, of course, unfortunately, this doesn't take into account all of the amazing donations that came in over the course of the stream. But you guys are amazing. You really are. I couldn't possibly do any of this without you, obviously. It just wouldn't make any sense. So thank you all so much for hanging out with us tonight. Thanks to all of the amazing moderators that we have. We have so many at this point. It's silly. But we've got Onion and Mega Squad Trevor and the Logician and Chance and Tech Examine and all of you guys guarantee that the streams go smooth, that we don't get any trolls making life difficult for any of us, and that everyone gets to have fun, be silly, and play around. And I really do appreciate it. I say it every week, but this world kind of sucks sometimes, especially if you choose to look at it from a different perspective. And I choose to look at it from the perspective of nobody is going to fix it unless we start fixing it ourselves. So the best way to do that is just to be good to people, do something nice for someone else, go out there and help your fellow man, and maybe, just maybe, they'll pass it on and pass it on and pass it on, and we make the world a little bit better of a place to be. What else can we ask for? I love you guys so much, and I will see you. Well, I'll see you in the next one. Today's video is sponsored by Envato Placeit. Placeit is a marketplace for all kinds of assets that can help you with your YouTube channel. Things like art and live streaming and video assets. You can create amazing face cams and live streaming overlays really easily. There are hundreds of templates, and each face cam and overlay can be modified with different designs, colors, text, and text fonts. The process is super easy, and you can even incorporate your own logo, or if you're like me, your own Placeit design logo. And you can put it right in your design. This gives you an infinite number of overlays and face cam possibilities for your live streams. And they're so easy to create, you can use a different one every time you live stream if you wanted to. So please, click the link in the description and check out Envato Placeit for yourself. If you have the means, supporting the sponsors that support the channel is a great way to help me keep making awesome content that helps you. So thanks.